So welcome everyone. This might look like a little bit of a weird setup today because we are going to be playing with Responder. All right. First and foremost, how do you change things within Responder, right? Let's go ahead and we can locate responder.conf. You might want to change most likely the user share responder.conf one. That's usually what you're going to change, like right there. But if you need to change anything, which we will be doing throughout this, or we should be, I think we messed with it a couple times. That's like where you're going to work with it at. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with LLM-ng poisoning, right, through SMB. Okay, so to start Responder, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a sudo responder, and then we want to give it our interface. So if I do an ifconfig like real quick, we can see that my interface is going to be Ethernet 0, right? Let's go ahead and go over here, command prompt, ipconfig, and we can see that this is on 0.24. I'm on 0.17. I can ping him. Good morning, bottleneck. How are you? Or good evening from here, but there we go. Okay, so I can ping him and everything. So we're going to do a sudo responder, attack I. We're not going to use ton 0. We're going to use Ethernet 0. I'm doing attack V in case we've already captured these hashes so that we can capture them again. So I just like always putting attack V. All right, what do we have on? All right, we have SMB server on. So if we try to actually start up like SMB server.py, it's not going to work. Port 445 is already taken. All right, just so you know. Okay, and what's going to happen here with LLM-ng, which is on, we are going to go to a share that does not exist. When we go to that share that does not exist, Responder is then going to say, hey, that's me, dude. Go ahead and send me your NTLM hash, and I will let you in. All right. For this one, like right here, it's already trying to poison my own PC. My own computer's like, hey, what are you doing? All right. So it's trying to poison my own. Okay. But let's go ahead and try to look at a share. So we can do like a net view, or we can just do a share. Let's go ahead and actually edit this first for properties and make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Make it like 24, something like that, right? We'll do a net view // I don't know, some crap behind it, okay? And we can see we get the net NTLM hash. Okay, now this hash like right here, I don't believe we're not just going to be able to crack it with RockU, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a quick word list. So we'll say sublime pass.text, right? And we're just going to put a bunch of crap in here. And we'll put the actual password in here, right? And then we'll keep putting more crap into here. All right, that should be good enough, just to show that, yes, it does work. And we'll go ahead and we will grab this guy. And we'll say echo that into hash.text. Good evening, tsec guy. How you doing? I was about to say TSC guy for some reason. I don't know why. But we'll go ahead and we'll echo that to hash.text. Then we'll use John, hash.text. Get rid of the format here, right? I like using fork equals 4 so it goes a little bit faster for me. But we'll go ahead and oh, that's going to RockU. That's not going to work. So let's go ahead and go to our pass.text there. And we can see that we do get the password back, right? So that is LLM-ng poisoning. As you can see, literally LLM-ng poisoned the answer for this. So even if you don't know what it is, it actually tells you right there. All right. We could also do this if they were to open up a share and go to the incorrect share, right? So that view says that thing is going to a share. Okay. So we can do a / and we'll put in some more crap. We'll hit enter and it poisons it again. Okay. Well, give it a second. Administrator. He types in his password because he's like, oh, I have to authenticate to the share. Enter, and we are getting it again and again and again. Okay, okay, okay. You can see that the hash changed like right here. If you look at this FA, and now it's 0E. Okay, so we know that that's working great for us like so far, right? So that is LLM-ng poisoning. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing here. Okay, we did it with both NetView and through an actual folder itself. All right, and then we were able to crack that hash. Now, if we real quick wanted to use hashcap for this, okay, this one like right here, I believe it is 5600. So let's go ahead and just try like real quick. We'll try hashcap, attack M5600, I believe it is, for this one like right here, hash.text, and we're going to use pass.text to crack it. Might take a minute because Hashcat hasn't started up on this machine yet, so it's going to take it a second to start up, but we should be able to crack it with that also. Should be the password, or else it would have already told us like no passwords loaded, right? And we see it does crack it right there. So 5600 for Hashcat with LLMR poisoning, right? All right, now let's go ahead and poison that same exact thing, except for this time we're going to do it through WPAD, okay? So what we can do now is we go ahead and stop this. Let's go ahead and see if WPAD is on first, right? So WPAD is right now off, okay? So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to either A, just do attack WD, okay, to turn on DHCP and WPAD, or we can actually turn it on in our responder.conf. Let's just go ahead and just do attack WD. All right, if we scroll up now, we can now see that DHCP is on and WPAD proxy is on, correct? And it found a DHCP server. It's now waiting for incoming requests. That's obviously the router on the internal network here. We know that because it's .1, and it found it, which if you're going to have a DHCP server, most likely that's going to be it. Okay, now if the user goes to a random site that doesn't exist, we should then say, hey, that's us. Okay, so let's just try to go to a .local site here. I don't know, we'll go to like me.local. Is that a site? Okay, and it tells us, hey, you have to log in. Okay, good. That's good for us. Let's do an administrator. We'll put in our password here. And we get the hash again, which we can just crack this again with 5600 or John the Ripper. All right, that is WPAD with that DHCP like right there, right, up and running. So that is a great like little attack. So if the user goes to a site that doesn't actually exist, we're going to say that it's us, that's our site, and we exist, so you can go ahead and bring it back to us, right? So next one is we could do analyze mode. It's not going to like drop the hash or anything like that. It's just going to analyze it. It's going to tell you what it's doing. That's about it. That's with attack A. Okay. Nothing like that will be poisoned. Okay. And we can see that all of this is now off also. Okay. So if we were to do a net view again, all right, we can see that it did do everything, right? It's telling us like, hey, yeah, everything's jacked up here, but it's not actually going to poison it. Okay. So that's analyze mode. Right, so I guess that's like a safer, like if the company doesn't want you to actually be doing certain things, you could use analyze mode for that, right? All right, cool. Next one is we are going to add in basic authentication, okay? So we're going to turn on everything that we've turned on so far. We're going to do a WDF, attack B, okay? That attack B is going to allow for basic authentication. All right, if you look up top, it has turned on everything. Right, and we also have that WPAD still on. The only thing we don't have on is that auth proxy, right? And now if we come down here, we can actually see that forced WPAD authentication and forced basic authentication is now up and running. Okay, that's what that attack capital F did right there. All right, so that's going to allow that for basic authentication. Well, I think one of them is basic. This one's basic authentication. I think this one's forced WPAD auth. That's what's capital F. That was B, I believe. Okay, I don't know if I can actually put that all in one. I never actually tried that. Yep. Okay, cool. Yes, we can. Okay, so from here, if we go to a site that doesn't actually exist again, so let's go ahead and head over to our Windows machine over here, right? If we go to a site again, it doesn't actually exist. Okay, and the user puts in things. You can see right here, your connection to the site is not secure. What does that mean? That means we're not going to get an NTLM hash or not NTLM hash. We are going to get the actual password itself. All right, in clear text. That's what we will get on that one. Okay, so we will actually get the actual password itself in clear text for that site that does not exist. So now what we can do is we can try to downgrade attack. I have not tried this yet on server 2022. Okay, I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we can try to do a downgrade from NetNTLM version 2 SSP, okay, to NetNTLM version 2, or just NTLM version 2, okay. Well, it's still going to be NetNTLM. So we'll go ahead and we will try this like right here. So we got our WDF. We're going to do attack LM, attack disable ESS. Okay, they'll start that up again, okay? We see that we're still forcing it, and now we're forcing LM downgrade, and we're forcing ESS downgrade. All right, easy day, right? Let's go to a site that doesn't exist. Me.local. All right. Let's try u.local. Okay, there we go. Administrator. All right, so now skipping the previous captured hashes. So we forgot to add in that tag V. That's why. All right, let's go ahead and go to u.local again. And we can see that starts grabbing those hashes. Now, that's obviously, the site still has the cookies in there and everything. That's why I just did that. But we can see it did this like right here, okay? It doesn't look like we're actually downgrading it on this one like right here. So I was hoping to get that downgrade. I didn't know if it worked with Server 2022 or not. Doesn't look like it is for that LM downgrade attack. Okay, this should be a lot shorter. That's what should happen. This should be a lot shorter. I think, yeah, I don't know if that one's actually going to work with this now, but that should be a lot smaller. All right, whenever it downgrades it. Let's go ahead and just try one more thing. Let's go ahead and go to like a.local or something like that. We'll try one more time again, just because the cookies were already there and everything like that, or well, it was already cached. Yep, that should be a lot smaller. So we're not doing that downgrade attack with this one right here, at least on Server 2022, or I'm totally jacked up and doing something totally wrong. One of two things are happening, right? So who knows? Okay. You can also utilize responder from a different IP address. Okay. So, well, not really. You can't use it with different IP address. You can use it. It's kind of confusing. Okay. You can use responder to send LM&R poison request to a victim that contains another IP than the one that we're currently using. Okay. So that's with attack E. This is when you start to get into like some really stealthy stuff and things like that. But that's with attack E. And then you can give it the IP address afterwards. So I can say like 192.168.1.40. Okay. So now that is not my IP address, right? Okay, I am 0.17. Okay, but we can do things like that also. And we can actually utilize LM&R poisoning. And whenever it comes back, responder external IP is going to be this, like right here. Okay. I don't know. Like this will be more of like if we had like Wireshark stuff like that up and running, we can see it probably much better. Let's go ahead and just do a net view. Oh, it's probably, and I don't know if it's actually going to gather it or not because we may have to be within the same network. Let's try a 0.40. Or I could always try an map-tech SN and grab something from my network, right? All right, okay, so we did grab it, okay? So according to this guy, the Windows machine over here, that came from 0.40, not from me like right here, okay? That is one thing, all right? That came from 0.40, not from me. All right. Just trying to think of some other little responder tricks and stuff like that. Already talked about responder.conf and everything like that. Just trying to think of, some more things, right? We could always... You can do DNS on here also. That's with attack D option. So you could do attack D for DNS, right? With responder. I don't really do this one very often, so I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to do it or not. But right now, when we do that attack D, that DNS now right is trying to poison that DNS server. Okay. Did I do it with attack V also? Nope. Whoops. Attack DV. And let's go ahead and try to go like a site like google.com. I don't know if it's actually going to poison it for google.com. Nope. Let's try a.local again. Okay. and that did poison it. And we don't have WPAT or anything like that we had out before. So that DNS cache, that DNS did poison that like right there. But I think that's when we'll actually poison actual sites also. The only problem is the only site I can make is not my Kali machine. So obviously if it's calling back to my Kali machine, it's going to send it anyway. So that's not really a good showing of it, right? So I guess I'll have to set up like a DNS server, things like that to actually show you how that would work. But you can technically create DNS and they will then, you can inject a rogue DNS server pretty much. Okay. So we can actually see how this would actually work. MDNS, yeah. And the name aim.local. So, yep. All right, but yeah, we can create a rogue DNS server there, right? I'm just trying to think of. I know there's a lot of cool things you can do. That's all responder. So yeah, because I know you can do like WinRM stuff like that, but I haven't really messed around with those ones too much, so I don't feel comfortable like, oh, yeah, the WinRM server, things like that. We could always try to WinRM into something, but I don't really feel comfortable. I would need another machine up also to WinRM into it, because I couldn't do like an evil WinRM. I feel like. 192.168. You can also set up DHCP so that it continues to go back to whenever the machine very first starts up, which we will try that one. I have luck with that sometimes. Other times I do not. 0.24. And then the password is going to be, you can try this like right here. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Nothing's going to happen up here. Probably because I'm going for my own machine. I could try to WinRM in for my own machine, I guess. I don't know if I really want to do that because it might actually send over a lot more information than what I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So we'll look at WinRM another day, whenever I pull up a couple machines and things like that, right? Let's go ahead and also show you guys. So something like the thing that I made online, right? That SMB killer. Okay, that's on GitHub like right there. Here's another way you can use it, is Startup Responder, right? It actually starts it up for you, SMB killer. So we'll actually close out of here. We'll exit out of this. And if we do something like Python 3 or Python tools, SMB killer.py, nope, invoke everything, SMB killer.py. Okay, if we do something like that, like right there, and then we put in attack R for our host, 192.168.0.24. Our L host, attack I, the interface, Ethernet 0, right? How did I get a tunnel up? Or why do I have a tunnel up? Huh. Okay. Our L host, there we go. The share that we want to inject it to. So now we need a share, right? So let's go ahead and make a share on here like real quick. So we'll head over to here. We'll go to this PC, C drive. I actually already have a share. Never mind. Cool share. So we'll say share. So the share I want to inject to share. Attack U, the username, administrator. That's actually a capital U. And then attack capital P with a password here. Right? And then what do we want to inject? I'm going to say all, just everything. All right. And if we go ahead and we click A on enter on that, it's going to make quite a few different files. As you can see, it already uploaded them over there. It's going to ask you to turn on or for your Kali password, hit enter there. And now if somebody goes to the share, we will receive a call back over to us over here. All right. Like I said, I don't know if this one starts up attack me. I can't remember. If it does, I'm probably just going to add it in there. But if someone goes to the share, at least it should. I haven't tested it on this server yet, and it does. We can see that we do get a call back to us. That's because these files, like right here, you don't have to actually open to receive a call back from them. All right. So it makes those files for you, puts them in the share, and obviously from there, we can crack that password. Right? So that is Responder.